Greetings, everybody. It is Brian Terrian here with Mike Haderton, and Mike is got a really cool thing going on with Texas southbound tours that we're going to learn about today. He's helping people slash their medical expenses a third down to maybe even 25% of what you would pay for common medical procedures. So I'm excited to spend a few minutes with you. Thanks for taking the time, Mike.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it and giving us a chance to explain what we do, and hopefully we can bless some other people out there that can help, that can't afford the kind of services that we can provide them down in Mexico.
Right. Well, I mean, even if people can afford it, who wants to overpay for something, right?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Brian, I farmed for myself, farmed and ranched here, and we weren't able to afford insurance, much less dental insurance, and that's where we got started in the business, and then it's grown from there, and it's really a blessing to a lot of people out here. There's people out here that can't afford it because of their finances. A lot of elderly people need dentures, and they can't afford them, and this is a way that they can afford to get it done, and it's also top quality work. It's just because it says Mexico, folks, you don't have to worry. I promise you, it's at least as good as you get in the United States, and in some cases, I believe it to be superior.
Okay, great. So for those of you listening out there, Mike has set up a service where folks in Texas or anywhere actually can meet you down. You leave from Lubbock? Is that right?
Leave from Lubbock. Yes, sir. We leave from Lubbock, Texas on a Friday morning at 7 o'clock. We get to Mexico. It's about a 6-hour trip. We park our bus, and we have a van that we leave at all times in Del Rio, Texas, which is the sister city to Acuna. We park the bus, get everybody in the van. We take them across the bridge. We pay all the tolls. We also set up all of the appointments for you. We have all your hotel reservations made and everything whenever we go across.
So before I forget, for those of you listening, not only will you be able to save on some services, but I'll share with you a discount code that Mike has offered Disability Digest listeners at the end of the presentation today. So let's get into it. So you leave from Texas, go down to about 6 hours over the border. What are some of the common services or procedures that individuals come to you to have done, Mike?
Well, we take people to dentists. There's dentists on every corner in Acuna, basically. Are they all good? No. But I've gone to Acuna for almost 43 years. I have some very, very close friends that are considered family, and we know the dentist to take you to that myself and my family have used for 20 years. We don't just drop you off at the border and say, go find you a dentist. We take care of it.
That's nice.
Yeah, we get that done. And the same way with the hotel. We also get pretty deep discounts from a lot of the dentists, a lot of the stores, restaurants, and the hotel as well. We take people for everything dental-wise, from fillings to full sets of dentures, implants, bridges, partials. Anything that you can get done up here, we can get done down there for a third to a fourth of the cost.
So if somebody's going to get a filling done in the U.S., are you saying that how much would it be for like a standard filling? Let's start with the basics.
I don't know in the United States how much they're costing. I can get it done down there for $30.
Right. Yeah, I pay $120, and I have too many of them. Okay, wow. Yes.
I'll go through some of the basics that we take people to. We We take people for root canals. The root canal runs $200. We take people for crowns. Porcelain crowns are $180. You get them the next day. You don't go around with a partial for or a temporary for 2 weeks. You get it the next day. We can get you metal crowns, like some people don't mind them being in the back on their molars because they don't show. We can get those for $100 and get them the same day. We can get partials and bridges run about $300 unless they're really, really extensive or something different. Extractions run $30 to $40.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cleanings are $40. Just, we can get implants. A complete implant is $1,500. And when I say complete, I mean the screw, the consultation is free, the x-rays are free. First time they'll put the screw in. You have to wait a couple of months for that to come back. Then in his office they do the abutment and also they make the tooth there in his office. Dr. Valdez, which is a very, very very nice gentleman. His son has studied to specially do implants, and he spent 100 million pesos to get all this equipment from Germany. They do a cone CT scan of where it is going to go, and I've heard a lot of places that they don't get the implants lined up and everything. Dr. Valdez is all computer generated. They make a plate that fits in your mouth so they know exactly where to put the implant. And
wow.
then whenever you get everything ready in 2 months, if everything's ready, healed, then about 3 hours they make the tooth right there in the office.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So is dental the primary service that people go down for, Mike?
No, Brian, I've had 5 surgeries down in Acuna myself. I've had rotator cuff, I've had 2 knee surgeries, I've had a hernia repair, and I had a rhinoplasty because I couldn't breathe out of one side of my nose. The most expensive one was the rhinoplasty, and turnkey from the time I went in until I came out. Doctor, anesthesia, hospital, the whole 9 yards was $2,200.
Wow.
And also, we take people, I'm going to have a cataract removed on my right eye. I have an appointment to do it on the 15th of March, which is a Sunday. My ophthalmologist there, his son, is a specialist in it, and he comes to Acuna once a month and does a surgery. That surgery is going to cost me $1,240.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at the same time we're there, my wife has to have mammograms every year because her mother had breast cancer. So she gets mammograms there, and they also don't just rely straight on a mammogram. They do an ultrasound, too. And for the mammogram and the ultrasound, it's $50. I've never had anybody there. If I had to have it, that's exactly where I would go. But they can do the endoscopes where they scope, the GI and everything. Just about anything that they can do in the United States, they can do there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And we also, a lot of people we take down, go to the pharmacy. It's the same way with the drugs. It's amazing the difference in the prices, just to see how bad that we're getting taken advantage of, by the pharmaceuticals. We have a lady that is diabetic, and the insulin costs her $440 a month at Walmart, and we can purchase it there for $115.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the lady, it performs better than what she gets at Walmart. And you don't have to have a prescription for any of the antibiotics, any medicine, unless it is a controlled substance. Any kind of painkiller that is an opioid or anything like that, you do have to have an American doctor prescription before you can bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, all the antibiotics and everything you can bring back, blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine, any of that you can bring back.
Okay. Okay.
I also go, Brian, to a rheumatologist there that comes from Monclova, Mexico. which is about 5 hours south of Acuna. He comes to Acuna and sees patients on one weekend a month.
Okay.
And I've also taken several people to him. Took one guy that had been going to a rheumatologist for 8 years and was not having any luck. Carried him down there. The doctor examined him, looked at his medicine. He said, "Where's the rest of your medicine?" And he said, "This is all." And he said, "Well, they're not giving you anything for rheumatoid arthritis." So he gave him one medicine. Within a week, the guy's hands were back to normal and functioning.
Beautiful.
He's gone back with me 2 times just for follow-ups and make sure, everything's working with his blood. We just got back Sunday, and everything's working perfect for him, and he's very, very happy.
Okay. So the savings on medications, dental, traditional surgeries, those are significant. I've got these are some of the questions that I've been asked. Well, first of all, it's the safety feature. Like you're going down, you're going across the border. You accompany for the whole trip?
Yes, yes. And we actually stay across the border, Brian. Ciudad Acuña only has one highway that leaves the city. So for anybody to come in or leave the city, they have to go out that one highway. And they have 24/7 military roadblock there checking everybody going in and out to make sure there's no trouble. And the cartels know that if they came in and stir up trouble, they have to go back out that highway, and there's no way for them to go out without going through the military. So it's safe. I take my grandkids.
Yep.
I've taken everything from 12-year-old granddaughters to 90-year-old women. So it's 100% safe.
Okay.
I feel safe in saying that it's safer than any city with a population of 200,000 in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So for somebody to go down there, like where I'm going with this is the cost justification. I've been on your website, and you have people from all over the U.S., maybe other places that have gone in. So apparently, you're going to have a certain amount of work done. It makes sense to.
Oh yeah, it would justify your trip to come down.
Okay.
Yeah. If you had $10,000 worth of work, what the dentist is telling you in the United States, and you could go down and get it done for $2,000,
right?
It would justify it. Plus, while you're there, you can have a margarita and eat some good Mexican food.
Sure. So you can have some fun and save some money.
Yes, sir.
And does it get any better than that?
It's a border city. It's not a resort town, but the people are friendly. The people are helpful, and like I said, there's no trouble. The women, the ladies like to go shop. There's Western stores, for the men, boots and cowboy hats and that type of thing. Wonderful restaurants. Anything you want, from seafood to Mexican food to a good T-bone. They all have it there, and very, very economic.
So where do you stay? Do you all stay at the same place?
We stay at the Villarreal Hotel there in Ciudad Acuña. It's the nicest hotel in Acuña, and Mr. Miguel Villarreal is gracious enough that he gives us discounts to try to promote tourism into Acuña, and we get rooms for $50 a night.
Wow.
And the hotel has a restaurant and bar there in the hotel. If anybody doesn't want to leave, they can stay right there. They have night watchmen 24 hours a day to watch the vehicles and, make sure there's no street people wandering in or anything. It's very safe. It has a gym upstairs and has a pool.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's not the New York Hilton by any means, I'm sure, but it's a very nice, clean, quiet hotel.
Okay. So how often do you go down your trips? I don't know if you call them a trip or a tour, but I'm going to call it a trip. How often do you make the trip down, Mike?
Brian, we normally try to go every 2 weeks. If we have people that need to go for any other reason, or if we have more that are saying, hey, we wish we could go this weekend, we go then.
Mm-hmm.
all through November, December, and January, we missed 3 weekends. And that was Christmas, Thanksgiving, and one other weekend. So we go pretty frequently.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like to mention, Brian, that they do, anybody that goes across does have to have a passport. And if they don't already have a passport and they're not planning on flying to any foreign country, they can get by with just the passport card, and I believe it's $90, and it's good for 10 years, so it's not really expensive for your passport.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
Going into Mexico, they know that we're going there to bring tourism to their city. They don't hassle us there coming in, and we go often enough that most of the people at the bridge know who we are, and we've never been sent to secondary to, go through a secondary inspection.
Okay.
Pretty quick ordeal of going through. We do leave early on Sunday morning so that we can get up and on the bridge before it gets full.
Okay.
Due to all the problems that they've had in some of the other border cities, they've taken a lot of the agents from the bridge there because they're not needing them. And so they're only running like 2 to 3 lanes. But if we get on the bridge by 6:30 in the morning, it's no problem. We'll be across in 10 to 15 minutes.
All right. That's great. What about language? Is there any language barrier?
Very little. Brian, I'd say that 90%, 95% of the dentists, doctors, any of the professionals down there speak English. Most of the restaurants speak English, and any of them that don't, I speak pretty fluent Spanish, so I can help out, and I'll be there with them to help and answer any questions.
Okay, great, great. So let's go through the trip process. If somebody wants to do this, they contact you, they book it? Is there a booking process, I presume?
Yeah, if they tell me they're coming, that's all I need. I need their name and a phone number where I can call them back. And,
Yep.
And there'll be a seat waiting on them on the bus. Another thing I wanted to mention, Brian, is that they don't have to worry about money. 99% of the places down there take credit cards.
Okay.
All the dentists take credit cards, so they don't have to worry about taking cash. There's a few of the little curio shops, the little mom and pop places that don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a problem, and there's ATMs if they want cash for that.
Okay. All right. So somebody contacts you, they book a trip, they get down there to you, and let's go through the charge for the work that you do to get somebody from Texas down into Mexico. What's the charge associated with that?
Okay, Brian, normally we charge $250 from Lubbock, Texas, round trip back to Lubbock, Texas. That includes all transportation, even in Mexico. We have a 15-passenger van that we use to take people to the dentist, to the doctor, sightseeing, whatever they need or want while they're there.
Mm-hmm.
That's provided free of charge, included in the $250.
Mm-hmm.
We also, if they're over 70 years old, or if they're a veteran, we offer a 10% discount with them. And, Brian, we're wanting to offer y'all, since you're trying to help promote us, anybody that's one of your members, we'll give them a 20% discount, and I want 10% of that to go to you, and then another 10% to the people that are traveling.
Well, that's nice of you. So for those of you that are calling to book a trip to get the discount, use the discount code, mention the Disability Digest to take advantage of that. That's great. So I guess to summarize, if somebody, let's say somebody is in Chicago and they've got $10,000 worth of medical work to do, and they fly into Texas for $500, they've got a $250, give or take, trip with you and a couple weeks in a hotel, they're still going to save a bunch of money.
They're going to save a bunch of money. And the other thing I'd like to mention, Brian, is that we've taken numerous people down there that said, well, the doctors up here said I need $10,000 worth of work, and I just can't afford it. And we carry him down there, and we took one lady that has multiple sclerosis, and that was what they had quoted her as $10,000 to fix her. We carried her down there. The whole bill was $630, and she's got a beautiful smile.
Oh my gosh, that's a great
and we see that a lot. We see a lot of it that people here say, well, you know, we've got to have this done, this done, this done. And we get them there, and the dentist examine them and say, no, you don't need all that. You need this, and that's all you need. Your other teeth are good. And the dentist down there all will tell you that if we can save your tooth, that's the tooth God gave you. You'll never have another one that good. So we want to do everything that we can to save your natural teeth. We had one gentleman that we carried down that had been to Lubbock, Texas, got 2 porcelain crowns that was $3,100, and they told him he needed 2 more on the back molars on the other side. He could not eat with it. It was tender. It was hurting him all the time. He went back numerous times, and they x-rayed it and said, we can't see anything wrong. You're going to have to go to a specialist. He heard about us, said, I'd like to go with y'all, so we carried him down. My dentist looked at it, and he said, oh, you have a high spot there. So he crowned on it a little bit, and he said, how's that? Well, the gentleman said, that's much better. He said, still like a little bit. So they did the carbon paper, finished it all up, polished it and everything. He said, oh, that's perfect. Now, while I'm here, let's go ahead and I'll let you do the other teeth. And my dentist was very puzzled and said, what? I don't understand. And he said, well, they said the other 2 on the other side need replaced. So he kind of shook his head, put his magnifier back on, picked it, scraped it, did everything, and stopped, and they raised it back up, and he said, sir, it would be good for me for the money, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with your tooth at all.
Oh my gosh, that is unbelievable.
Yeah. We carried a gentleman, a friend of mine, that tore a rotator cuff, and he went to Lubbock Sports Medicine in Lubbock. They're the team that take care of all of Texas Tech sports up there. And they operated on him. He thought he was fixed until he went back, and they told him, oh, we couldn't do it. You're going to have a total joint replacement. To make a long story short, his wife lost her job. He lost his insurance. He didn't know what he was going to do. I told him, get your MRI. I will carry you to Acuna. I carried him down. They reviewed it, said, there's not that much wrong with the joint. We can do the surgery tonight. And figured up that it said it's $1,865. They did the surgery. I stayed with him because I could speak Spanish, and some of the nurses there didn't speak English. Whenever they finished the surgeon came out and told me, Miguelito, we're finished. He's in recovery. Everything went perfect. But there's absolutely nothing at all wrong with his joint. And so he said, I sutured the bone, the ligament back to the bone, just like I did on you on your surgery. And he said, he'll be fine in a little while. And he's a carpenter and painter, and he's back to work and without any problem.
You're doing some good work, Mike.
Well, I'm just the courier. I just want to carry people to where they can get the good work and the help that they need, right?
But you're doing your part.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's great. Well, listen, I appreciate your time today and helping us understand the good work that you do there at Texas Southbound Tour. So for those of you listening, remember 2 things. One is information to contact Mike and Texas Southbound Tours be right below the video. And when you contact them, take advantage of the discount. Make sure that you mention the Disability Digest to get the extra discount. So, Mike, I'm grateful for your time. Keep on keeping on. Keep up the good work, saving people tons of money. Really appreciate it.